Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome to Amnesia. You're probably wondering, why do you hear chopping in the background? Well, this is eating some Golden Chicken, not sponsored by Golden Chicken, by the way. And I'm over here looking at Phobias. Dang it, Phobias. Oh man, I messed that up.
Phobia Forbes? Forms?
Not Phobias, Phobias.
No, Phobia Forms. There you go. Boom, saved it.
Phobia forms. You're right. Thank you. All right. And my family just returned. Wow. Such a unique coincidence. Anyways, we're going to be going through this game.
Also, I'm pretty sure we have played this game before.
Yeah, I believe so, yes. But I just can't remember.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably last Halloween.
Yeah. Speaking likely.
And the game crashed.
Ah, man. I was ready. We were set. Oh, who am I kidding? I saw this coming a mile away.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't worry about it. Launch game.
Effect.
Here we go.
Yay. In fact, everyone saw this coming a mile away.
Yeah. It's our gag. Our streams always
basically
start
our gag
horribly.
at this point. Yeah.
By the way, there's a weird glitch with this game. So when we get to the gamma part, hold on, wait for it. Wait for it. Here we go. Okay, so when I set the gamma to something, it changes back. You see that?
Oh my gosh, it does.
I'll change it to 2, and it changes back.
It does.
I'll go to 3, but it's already changed back actually.
Yeah. What's the point of that?
And it changes back. Goes to 2, and it changes back. I really need the gamma to be at 2 because that's only when I finally see the squares. Seizure warning. Oh, you know what's insane though?
But
on OBS, it's not changing. Like you see it, right?
Yeah.
OBS doesn't see it.
Yeah.
So I guess no seizure warning. That's all. I hope you enjoy immersing yourself in fictional games, all that stuff. So this game, and I learned a bit more about it from Markiplier. This game is a lot like Outlast, and in the way that it's a lot like Outlast is that you cannot fight in this game. You have to run. You have to hide.
Everything.
Everything's, yeah. A lot of things are a threat, you know, etc., etc.
But that's basically most horror games, so
mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry.
But then again,
I live in London.
We can talk over this. I mean, we've watched this before.
Yeah, you're right. But this is a one-off, so it doesn't even matter. But if that's to us, why did I say that?
Focus.
Man,
My name is.
my words are always condescending. I feel like people
That's
know
not the
this.
right word.
Like legit, I don't mean to do that. It's just that it's just something that, you know, I unconsciously do. I don't think I'm the only one who does that. Why didn't I? Like legit, there has to be some other people.
No, there are definitely plenty of other people. I would say there's still millions of people that do the same thing you do. But so you are absolutely right, Ty. This game shaped horror games. Like in general,
I believe it.
This game shaped every single horror game that came after it, except for Five Nights at Freddy's.
I believe it. Say that because we had Layers of Fear, and then there was also Outlast.
Mementos. Yeah.
Maybe even Slenderman. The remakes, I mean. Like legit, this was the catalyst for things to come.
You know what?
Yeah.
Slender Man is different, in my opinion, just because in this game there's like ominous threats, right? Like there's nature, there's this, and there's that.
I would
Right.
say Slenderman counts as nature, but nah, he doesn't.
No, Slenderman is an unstoppable force, which I think is its own kind of genre-ish. I can't see.
That is concerning.
I want to see if I can. Yeah, it's already at 2. There we go. Aw. I thought it was actually gonna stay. Okay, world refresher,
Bitch.
miscellaneous.
It's like, no way. You're not changing that. You're not the person me. So what do you think you're gonna do? No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, you're gonna go in this. You're gonna do this blind.
Oh my gosh, I hate that so much. Why does it do?
That's
Why? No,
Now
not
you
your,
got a
not your
voice for like. Now you got a voice for the irritation.
No, I'm not talking about your voice. I'm talking about this. This is terrible. Why do they do this?
Because you don't care. You're not the Darciverse. You're not the Darciverse, yours.
I mean, ain't
I'm
that
sorry,
the truth?
that's not helping. I'll stop.
I mean, you know it's not helping, but it's not harming. At least in this case, you're making good commentary. And what is going on? What am I doing?
You know, like, what causes amnesia? Yeah, I should look at that.
Amnesia is the
What causes
is
amnesia?
forgetting. You forget everything. It's usually caused by brain trauma of some sort. Are you still looking it up? I just told you.
Well, you said by trauma, right?
Yes.
But you forget there's also
Usually.
head injuries, severe illnesses, high
That's
fever,
trauma.
seizures,
That's brain
emotional
trauma.
shock or hysteria,
all brain
alcohol-related
trauma.
brain injury, certain drugs as the breach rates of heroin, and general anesthetics. And brain trauma doesn't have, like, it's not stated in any of them except for, like, them in. Oh! You know what it is? These are all just stated in the ways of what you just said, but they're the longer things of what you were saying to me. You understand what I mean?
That they are all brain trauma in one way or another.
They're all brain trauma, but in long, like, groups of words.
Uh-huh.
Or a list of words.
Listing examples of brain trauma, right?
Yeah. Which is just amnesia, right?
They can all lead to amnesia, yes.
Okay, there. While we do this, I want to look up a list of phobias that I think pretty much almost everyone have.
Well, there's
Let's start with the-
Phasmophobia, which is a game that we played.
Yeah, which also might have been inspired by this.
No, Phasmophobia is its own thing.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because like, there's wait, but doesn't it have supernatural forces that aren't fully revealed and then just try to kill you?
No, it's a Ghost Hunters game.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But specifically this.
19th of August.
Let's start with
1839.
social phobia.
I wish I could ask
Like
how much you
legit,
remember.
like
I don't
that's
know if
something
there'll be anything left after I consume
almost
this
like
drink.
almost all of humanity
Don't
have,
be afraid, Daniel.
What do you
I
mean?
can't tell you
including
why,
myself,
but you know
of course,
this.
and
I choose to
like
forget.
legit
Try
other
to
people.
find comfort
So
and
fear
strength in
of
that
social
fact.
places?
There is a purpose.
Oh, fear
You
of
are
social
my
places.
final effort to put
I
right.
kind of have that, but I
God
don't.
willing, the name
No,
Alexander
what
Brandenburg
is that?
still
What is
invokes
social
bitter
phobia?
anger in you. If not,
It's known as a
this will
social
sound
anxiety
horrible.
disorder. The phobia
Go
is
to
marked
the
as a
inner
fear of
sanctum.
social situations
Find
in which a person
Alexander
might be judged
and
or
kill
embarrassed.
him. His body is old and weak, and yours
The whole world does
young
not have
and
that.
strong. He
Oh,
will
really?
be no match for you.
Oh man,
One last
I'm the one
thing.
of the most unlucky
His
few to have
shadow
that.
is
Feel
following
right.
you. It's a living nightmare.
I would
breaking
say
down
half
reality.
the world has that.
I have tried everything, and there
Okay,
is no way
well.
to fight back.
All right.
You need to escape it as long as you can.
But only half.
Redeem us both, Daniel.
Which makes sense.
Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits
The
and
world being the
murder
United
him.
States. If we're going to talk about like the
Your
entire
former
planet Earth,
self,
I
Daniel.
would decrease that to about 30%.
One thing people fear is to be judged in some certain situation.
Nah, it's still just America, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Britain and you start judging someone, they're just gonna lash back at you. Like, oh mate,
Yeah.
why? Or Australia, like, oh mate, who the hell are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to Great Britain, they're like, piss off, fuck you, this and that, and it's like, oh, okay,
Man,
cool.
that was.
You go to Germany, and then they're like, they're like, you have no proof that you're better than me. Prove.
Dude, that's
But yeah,
legit,
no.
like almost all the world. Most people will like unessentially judge you in their heads too. Judging cannot be stopped.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Not in like all terms. Like what I mean is there's always gonna be someone be thinking in the back of their head. Like whether you like in a positive light or negative light.
No. I'm gonna say no to that one. And here's the reason why. People are so self-conscious, and then they forget about other people. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you're the same way, sort of, in a way. Like
In a way,
whenever
yes.
whenever you're worried about someone judging you, you just think about them judging you. AKA, you're thinking
Yeah.
about yourself and what you're doing.
Okay.
What you don't realize is that they're doing the exact same thing.
Oh, really?
They're not judging you, they're worried about you judging them. And that's a
Oh.
lot of the cases with people, especially with
Oh.
people who have that phobia.
Oh.
Everyone
Oh,
just thinks
you're right.
about themselves. It's rare, unless someone is intrusive in your life, someone's stopping you from doing something, or someone's causing like an outrage. It's not until those moments where either you or someone else judges someone else or you. If you're not in a moment where someone's becoming an issue, no one cares about anyone.
True.
I'm gonna take this candle, but I can't take this candle. I could take everything else, but just not this candle. This candle would be very useful to me right now. I don't know why I wouldn't take it.
So it's like a stalemate of like, you know,
Yes.
like just trying to communicate.
Yes. Absolutely.
Dude,
Yeah,
there
I
is
think
ways.
people who have social phobia forget that other people could also have social anxiety.
Yeah.
It's narcissistic in a way, but with you being the only person who you know, how could you not be?
So it's this unintentional narcissism.
In a very large stretch, yes.
Okay. Can you expand on that stretch?
Well, so you would a person with narcissism, the person that is like, oh, it's me. There's no one greater than me. I'm the greatest beauty. I'm the best, person. Whatever the hell.
And
bothers,
I
right?
do not think that. I think of myself
The
as
person,
myself.
the person on the on kind of like the opposite spectrum, at least in this conversation, is like, oh, everyone is judging me, everyone doesn't like me, I'm intrusive. It's narcissism, but to me it's in a different form, right?
Oh.
You're thinking about yourself constantly,
But
and you're being worried about other people thinking about you. When a lot of the times that's not the case. It's not technically narcissism, but to me, it's a branch of it.
Sort of like a I guess you're right. Well, in a way. Not exactly right.
It's kind of a gray area.
Yeah. I try to open up. Only just certain people.
Well, I'm not saying that you do that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're constantly a narcissist, at least of that branch.
Of course.
I'm just saying that when you do that, you enter that narcissistic mentality that is in that branch.
Alright. I enjoy
I have
having
no
company.
idea what to do, where to
Yeah,
go,
what are
because
you-
this,
like, what the
this
heck-
game is too dark for me to see, damn it. Like, what?
Okay, sorry.
This game is just too dark. I can't see anything.
We don't mean dark
Like, if
in
I do
like
this,
an emotional sense.
If
We
I-
mean dark in like legit a literal sense.
yeah, if it was at the correct gamma level, I could actually play this game. But I have no idea where anything is, so I can't play this game. I'm gonna cancel this stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seriously.
Alright.
To another day.
We turned Amnesia off because we legit could not see anything. So
Right.
we went to a game that we could see everything.
Yeah, and we're gonna start Demon's Tilt. Occupy Pinball Action.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with normal because I don't know what the. Oh no. Okay, left,
What's
right.
happening?
ASD. Okay. All right, here we go. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Huh? We're in the
Pinball
action
game.
already. Oh jeez.
Yeah! Alright.
Okay. Just try not to lose my
Hey.
stuff here. There we go. Good.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you're gonna need to like learn this. Like,
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Ooh. There we go. Oh.
Steve,
Here comes the second ball.
here's a hint.
What's up?
This is gonna possibly come back to you sometime in the future. Probably November. When we play a certain game involving a certain blue thing.
A certain
More like a blur.
thing? A bird?
I said blur.
I can't hear you. Hold on. Let me turn down the volume just a little bit. Okay, options, audio. Just turn this down.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it was even
There's
loud
also-
on the what you calls it. Okay. Okay.
There's also Are You Afraid of the Dark? We were naming like legit all children's horror things like, you know, earlier. Sorry, I keep saying you know, but yeah, you don't know what I mean. Duh. Okay. I was making a statement earlier that we were talking about children horror shows.
Right.
So we brought up Goosebumps. You brought up that, what was it again?
Lost tapes.
Lost Tapes. And then there was Courage the Cowardly Dog.
There was?
Yeah, I brought that up.
Okay.
But I
You know
forgot
what?
about Are You
Uh-huh.
Afraid of the Dark? Which is also a horror show.
You're right. Wow, the volume knob on this is out of whack. But that's fine.
Indeed it is.
Okay, so funny thing about Courage. Yes, it was scary to me as a kid. But it was specifically one episode where it was the backstory of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like
Which
how
is still honestly just scary in all general.
it's scary in general, and it's also really sad.
Yeah.
Because I think it was his parents sacrificed themselves in order to save the world or something.
That's not that. His parents got sent to like another planet.
Yeah, yeah. But didn't they get sent to the other planet like during like I don't know? It
When he
was
was a
because a
child?
bunch of pets, right? There were a bunch of pets that were being like experimented on by this
They were all
guy,
dogs.
right? They were all
Yeah.
dogs. They're being experimented by this guy,
Mhm.
and in trying to save all the dogs, his parents, got launched into another planet.
Yeah.
That's the backstory. That one was especially sad and terrifying. Because I'm like, oh no, my parents can get set at any time to another planet. What am I going to do?
Like legit, that's the whole reason Courage does what he does in the first place.
Yep. Oh, jeez.
Honestly, like legit, anyone could become Courage.
Yeah, just look at Batman.
Oh my gosh. Batman is Courage.
Batman is...
He's the definition of that.
Oh.
Well, both.
Well, Batman's
Like-
a lot of things. Do you remember the commercial of Batman? Where it was like courage, determination, selflessness.
Yeah.
Like naming off all these types of different things.
Mhm.
And it was showing people on a train, people in an alley, people. I got the high score.
That was random. I bet you got the high score though.
I got the high score. We're gonna do it again. Here we go.
Yeah, we are.
But anyway, it showed him in an alley and like a train depot and stuff in the sewers. That commercial stuck with me. I think it was yes. It was actually an Arkham Knight trailer that was. I don't know if you saw it, if you've ever seen it.
I have not.
Oh, dude, I need to show it to you after the stream. But it puts up words on the screen of like what Batman stands for, like justice, courage, selflessness, blah, blah, blah. And I guess you mentioning that courage is one of them just brought it back immediately into my head. Even the music. Like I'm thinking of it now. I won't repeat it just to save everyone's ears. But even the music, I just remember it so well.
Mm.
Uh,
You know what Courage is?
What's
I meant the
courage?
dog.
Is it grace
But,
under
like, legit.
pressure?
No, the thing with the Courage and Batman is they're honestly the same.
Oh,
But
did he
in,
get
like,
did he
the
get
two-
my did he get my Gotham reference, by the way?
I did not.
You asked what is courage. I said it's grace under pressure.
Oh.
It's a Jerome Valeska quote.
I didn't see
Who is
that.
still the Joker of Gotham? Like, come on. Let's be honest here. So, funny thing with Jerome Valeska. So, the people who made Gotham
Uh-huh.
had the rights to every single Batman character in the entire franchise, except for
Batman?
the Joker.
Wow.
They did not have the rights to the Joker.
You know, it honestly makes sense. You would steal the
Right.
show.
But they decided that they were gonna play around that, sort of. And so what they did was, I don't know where or when they said it, but they basically said, so here's what we're gonna do with the Joker, which we've already talked to Warner Brothers, they're okay with this. And basically the idea that they came up with was they were going to in episodes, right? Like sprinkled throughout Gotham the series, right? They were going to sprinkle potential candidates for who the Joker was.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was one where there was a guy just like in the alley just laughing to himself, and it's like, oh, this guy could be the Joker. And then there was another one where there was a kid laughing, like watching TV, like someone get brutalized and stuff, and it's like, oh, this guy could be the Joker. This kid could grow up to be the Joker. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like there'd be references like sprinkled everywhere. There would be, you know, like clowns and this and that. There'd just be the Joker was just ominously in the show.
Yeah.
There was an episode where they got an actor by the name of Cameron Monaghan, something like that. He portrayed such an amazing Joker
That he wasn't actually Joker.
We'll get to that.
On the show, I mean.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. He portrayed such a great Joker in his first appearance. It actually made so many people start watching Gotham. There was an entire fan base of Gotham dedicated specifically to Jerome Valeska, who is the character that Cameron Monaghan plays.
Mm-hmm.
Because they saw the ratings. I beat my score!
Again! Hooray!
I basically doubled it. I more than doubled it. I
But
almost
because-
tripled it.
Oh my gosh, you did triple it. But
Nice.
who saw the ratings, Zeus?
Who saw the ratings was basically the makers of the Gotham series. They saw the
Mhm.
ratings and they were like, we can't get rid of this guy. This guy's too good. So obviously the character went to Arkham Asylum,
Uh-huh.
but instead of being another throwaway potential Joker candidate, they pretty much centered on this guy. They centered on him. And everyone
Mhm.
was like, okay, this guy's the Joker, right? Like the everyone else is kind of seeing this.
Mhm.
And it got to a point to where there was actually such a big audience that was watching Gotham, and Warner Brothers was also like looking like, oh, how's the Gotham series doing? And they were just seeing the numbers and they were like, oh, why is it so successful? Oh, it's this Jerome Valeska kid. He seems an awful lot like the Joker.
Mhm.
So pretty much Warner Brothers like waltzed up there and they were like, hey, who's this guy, huh? Who's this Jerome Valeska kid? Is he the Joker? Are you breaking our little contract here?
And they're like, no.
They killed Jerome. They brought him back. They killed him again. Brought back his brother. Killed his brother, kind of. He died in a vat of acid, but came back as the official Joker.
Wow.
At the very end of the series, they finally got the rest of the Joker, and they were like, oh yeah, it's this guy. Even though the entire time you knew from the very beginning it was Cameron Monaghan's Jerome Valeska.
Yeah.
Now, funny thing about why his Joker was so successful. It wasn't because it was the awe-inspiring Heath Ledger performance. It was because it was a very awe-inspiring Mark Hamill performance. People actually looked at Jerome Valeska and they immediately were like, man, this seems a lot like the Joker from the comics. Like, very well done. This is the guy.
Mhm.
And from watching it, I can definitely tell you it's very different energy to what damn. Okay. Oh, I got another ball. Nice. To what Jack Nicholson and Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger and Jared Leto all portrayed. It is
All Jokers are unique in their very certain way.
It was very much the same type of Joker that you saw in the Arkham games and in the Arkham animated series.
Mm.
That's who Jerome Valeska was. And people loved it. People loved it a lot. Because it was so true to the comics. It's like, man, this is him. This is the real guy. The real deal. And I genuinely recommend that you watch those scenes and just tell me what you think. Because even personally myself, I really like Jerome Valeska as the Joker.
Mm. Okay.
Especially towards the season finale of season 2, I believe, where the Joker, I'm just gonna call him that, knocks out all the power in Gotham and runs a madhouse circus where it's literally just torture porn everywhere.
Mm. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the story to Gotham, really. The Penguin was also played a really big part. You know what? The Penguin played a huge part. Really huge. There was still the whole mob thing that was going on, which is something that I had a problem with. Because the mobs were still a thing, which makes sense story-wise. Like, yeah, sure, the mobs weren't dealt with until Batman came along. However, none of the other characters, like the Penguin and the Joker, the Riddler, none of them really came into fruition until after Batman got rid of the mobs. Story-wise, like, I mean, general canon.
Yeah.
And then you got Hugo Strange, and then you got the Joker.
I gotta get Hugo Strange in there. He's an underrated Batman villain.
He's also the first.
Yeah.
He's the first.
He was actually meant to be Batman's rival, but we all know how that ended.
Didn't end well for Hugo Strange because he died.
Well, not died. He shows up now and then.
Yeah.
It's in Batman media.
Yeah, like Arkham City.
Yeah, but in the end, he always ends up discovering Batman's identity. Because
Yep.
he was the one who deduced it first.
Yep. Before even the Riddler deduced it.
And Ra's al Ghul.
And Raish. Or Roz. I called him Ra's al Ghul for the longest time.
It's thanks to the Batman Beyond episode that I say this.
Yeah, I also know that episode. I doubled my high score. I more than
Nice.
doubled it.
You know, I always find these things interesting.
What do you mean?
I don't seek perfection, but I like the urge of doing so because it furthers my own evolution and growing at the same time. I see it in certain types of places, whether it be in media or whether it be in like sort of like novel, like or a novel series.
You know what's funny? That is exactly, and I'm going to talk about it here a little bit just because I don't want to give away any spoilers. That is exactly what the main character in my game is going to be. He's going to be a guy that just seeks perfection.
Mm.
He doesn't get it. Kind of. Sort of.
That's the thing with you really did that yourself.
We're getting to spoilers. We weren't there yet.
Look,
It's very interesting.
Look,
But-
to save you any trouble that might come in the future, do you mind if I just finish my whole explanation?
Sure,
That's
sure.
alright.
Go for it.
Okay, so you see, I actually treasure one thing that really honestly helps bring out the best in what things are made. Restrictions in certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And let me explain.
Okay.
When I make a drawing or something like that, I don't try to go all out immediately. I like to challenge myself. So I come up with some certain restrictions.
Okay.
Where they're like, okay, you need to draw this face, but it cannot look similar to the face you drew before.
Okay.
Or like, you need to draw this character, but you need to put him in a setting that will make sense to his environment while also making him react to the environment as well.
Okay.
Environment interaction.
Right.
Or draw a character, but you can't have him look like what he did before, but you gotta make him look recognizable to what he is.
Right.
And those are the types of restrictions that I think honestly brings out the best in things.
Okay. I'm gonna lay something out on you. Do you imagine making those restrictions and setting a goal for yourself to be a kind of like a game?
Whether it be a game or me just trying to tell a story. Honestly, both.
So it is a game to you.
Maybe, yeah.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
It can be a game. It could be a treasure. It could be something that, like, it's beautifully beloved to me. But I prefer to see it as a game.
Right.
The whole point is to have fun.
Yeah. And you have fun playing games. Why?
And I have fun drawing.
Yeah. Especially when you
And I
have
have
those.
fun talking with certain commentary.
You know what you should do? You should make an art channel. Like even if people make fun of your art, they say that it's not good enough. Make it like that wouldn't be the point of your channel. You're not gonna make like a how-to draw art channel. You're just gonna show your progression. You know what I mean? And you're gonna
You know what?
have set challenges for yourself. Like, oh, I can only do this. I can't do this. And yes, they are gonna be. They're most likely gonna be weak challenges to what most artists kind of give themselves. Like, an artist would be like, okay, draw a realistic painting, but only with a pencil. Which you would think doesn't sound that hard.
It's hard.
But they're blending utensils, different colored pencils, this and that. Like there's many different utensils you almost need to use in order to make your game more realistic, or not your game, your drawing more realistic. At least those are tools that help you, right? I halved my previous score.
Okay, but here's the deal with me. I actually did poke fun at my progression long ago. I made a one-strip comic, like, pointing out like progression between two little people. Like, hey, why are you a stick figure? What you gonna do? He's like, we need to advance in time so that we can get better at this. And then it flips the strip to like turning the page. And now it gains like a whole like circle body. He's just like, yeah, we're big heads. What are we gonna do? He's like, we need to go further. And then like another page turns. They have pants, but they still look like stick figures. And it's just like, no. Now we just got baggy pants and like long tucked shirts. What are we gonna do?
Dude, that is
We
such
need
a
to go.
clever idea.
We need to go one step further and further. And then it switches to like legit. Like they have hair now. Their eyes that's turned from dots to actual pupils. And they're like, okay, where are we now? I got hands. I got thumbs. I am wearing a greatly well-dressed Deckard man. I think we win a good amount of time in the future. And it's just like,
Ah.
yeah, something feels different. We're at the end. And then that's when it ends.
That is such a genius idea.
Yeah, it's actually the first comic I ever made.
Really?
And to myself.
That is a fantastic idea.
Heck, I'm even thinking about, like, if I ever go into, like, you know, making comics in, like, certain places or certain places at all. Like, legit, that would be my first opener thing.
Wow.
I think honestly it tells a story.
It
myself.
does. It's a pretty good one.
I still remember the days when I was young, when I would, like, play with my paper figures. When I was a kid, I
Yeah.
legit was not interested in action figures that much. I didn't understand the value of them. They were honestly just pieces of plastic. And yes, I did nibble on some. But as I
Oh, you
got
were
older,
that young, huh?
yeah. But as I got older, I was just like, ooh, little paper guys. Oh man, they look so cool. I wish I could bring them into actual physicality and play with them. And then we kick off to when I was in 3rd grade. That's when I started to open up my possibilities and say, huh, I have scissors. I have glue. I think I can make this work. So long ago, I used to cut my figurines out, or my pictures basically make paper, like, you know, minifigures, and play with them. And my gosh, that was so much fun. To most people, they would just be like, they're just regular pieces of paper with just drawings on them. Nah, not to me, man. Legit. They were the funnest things I ever had as a kid. The best part is, they were just cheap, they were fun. I got so much enjoyment out of them. I used to draw characters from, like, shows like Ninjago, but in my own form.
Ooh, I did terrible. I don't know if you saw that last game. Look at that. That is my worst score yet. That was so
You're like
bad.
the quadratic functions of the leaders. You go up high and now you're sinking low.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
But seriously though, I had so much fun as a kid when I did all of that.
That is
And this
fantastic.
was the time. This is what the time was when I discovered my PlayStation 2. So you know it was fun.
So
Like,
you,
legit,
you
that
preferred playing with the paper stick figures than playing your PS2.
No, it's not that. It's just the paper stick figures brought a sense of reality to my, you know, normal fantasy like fiction thing.
Yeah, because it was more physical, right?
Yes.
It's better to be able to touch the characters that you make than just have them be, you know, in your head or have them be on a regular piece of paper.
Indeed, it was.
You know what? I think you were just ahead of the times, ahead of the game, where you can make your own characters instead of having to just buy a whole bunch of army men in order to entertain yourself.
Yeah. And dude, I went crazy with that whole concept. Legit, I was drawing characters in that, like, left and right. From SpongeBob to Jay from Ninjago.
Nice.
Like, it got so big, my mother asked me to stop doing that in certain times, like, because I would try to keep them all in the bag. And, like, legit, there would be shreds of the glue that I would use everywhere.
Oh. Yeah, I can see
And
how
paper.
that might get annoying.
And paper.
Yeah.
As a kid, that was honestly my greatest growth period.
You're kind of just coming into your own, or what?
Like, legit, like, me coming into my style. I think that was the catalyst for how I draw today. And you can even tell by the fact, like, even as I grew, like legit, you could tell like it was coming. My style was finally awakened when I was just like, you know, using it as like, not just as novelty, but as a fun thing. And that's how I
Yeah.
see it as of my drawings today.
Nice.
And that was honestly the greatest thing that could possibly ever happen to me. Because my style today is just improved, not just because of all those art classes, but because of the drawings I did when I was a kid, when I made those figurines.
Yeah. You could honestly say that you came to your own just because of that hobby that people might have potentially thought was weird, but actually really like, it was just you. Like you made those figurines, you played with them, you did everything right there.
I made
Just-
my own fun, and I didn't need to have some electronic thing to do it.
Yeah.
Heck, even now, I'm kind of rekindling those steps. I noticed I don't usually play games as much as I usually used to, and I have so much free time. I rather spend my free time drawing, trying to come up with some things. Heck, I even enjoy like reading stuff, like looking at webtoon comics, like legit, watching certain shows, animes, and like legit, like trying to look at games that I don't usually like play as, like the games I usually play normal time.
Yeah.
I've just been branching out my creativity.
Which is first of all healthy. Just being able to creatively express yourself. And also it's turned into a nice hobby that you could potentially profit off of.
Yeah, you could profit off of this.
Yeah. Like you can make a legitimate like business or just a good product for people to just buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Heck, I think it honestly could help a lot of people today, in all honesty.
Well,
In a
see,
way.
that's also the thing, right? Is they also have to just be themselves without anyone judging them or be worried that someone is judging them. Just genuinely whip out something that is just so you, that you so genuinely enjoy. In
that's how I grew-
in a way that is you. Like just you all around, basically, is what I'm saying.
And
And
you
just
can even
turning it
see
into
it.
something that's really positive and turning it into something that's really productive.
Ooh, that's new. You got like a.
Yeah,
you
where
got
the
a
lion's
tiger
moving
there.
now. Yeah, or tiger. Is it a lion or a tiger? I think it's a lion. It's got the fur all around it. She is bleeding from an eyeball.
I know.
This game is getting dark all of a sudden. This is a horror game.
I wouldn't consider it a horror game. I'd consider it an.
Well, I mean,
Action
it's
fun
not.
game.
It's not scary, but it is technically a horror game because it does have horror elements.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has a lady bleeding from her eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah. When I ever go in, like, I legit gonna be honest. When I design things, I kind of imagine like how the character would react whenever I do, like, you know how I love to do character design.
Yes, I do. You do it every day.
I do
Actually,
it every day.
you do it
and I
every
do
day.
not regret any of it. It's something that I cherish a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love about it is that it kind of makes you look at the perspective and how things would, like, would react to seeing these types of things. Sometimes I like putting them in like a real life situation. Sometimes I imagine it as sort of like as a common situation. Like with certain characters I make. But either way, when I design them, I kind of like wonder about their personalities.
Oh, we got a weird alien in the middle there.
Oh my gosh, it looks like the alien from like the Metroid series, Mother Brain.
Nice. I
Oh, you
almost
got
doubled
hired.
my score. You know what? Now I'm curious. How do I look like with the rest of the world? Global sky. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Raffle Coco. Cybok.
Oh no!
Getting
Look
rough.
at Yandre. Look at Andres Y. Silvia. He's got 2.1 billion points. I only have 15 million. Man, these people have to be grinding for hours. Do you also
they
notice
do.
that they're all the same?
Yeah, they're honestly, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
I think that's the limit of how you can go.
Do you really think so?
There's no way they can all be playing the same thing and have the same score. That has to be like the best, like the distance.
The most you ever can just make.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So there's some people that have quote unquote beaten this game.
Hey. Mhm.
Nice.
Nice.
So
Nice
back
indeed.
to the local scores. 15 million. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I like how the
Honestly-
first top score was just 1 million. Oh man. All right. You know what? I'm actually really enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the talk that we're doing too.
Yeah, I know our talk is just making this so good. I think
Yeah.
this is just gonna be a very commentary type episode.
I'm
For
loving
stream.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's great.
You know what I like? Okay, so I have a uniqueness when it comes to making a protagonist.
Okay,
You know that there can be certain protagonists that could be a hero, they could be a
Right.
villain,
yes,
they could be an anti-hero.
right,
To me, I try not to see it as that.
okay,
To me, I'm just trying to see it as like, you know, a personality that they have. And how they can use that personality to be beneficial not just to themselves, but also be beneficial to others.
mm.
That could be considered both as an anti-hero or like a hero or villain type of thing.
Just a hero, right?
just a
Because
hero.
you wouldn't want a hero to help other people, or not a hero, a villain to help other people. Because would they really be a villain?
That's the thing.
They'd be oh.
There are those villains. There are those villains that
with
like
motives.
villains with like benevolent
Aw.
motives. It's true.
You mean malevolent?
Yeah. Well, benevolent. It all depends on how they view it and how the others view it.
I don't know if you
I
saw
s-
that, Ty, but that was very embarrassing.
That was indeed embarrassing. I saw it all. You were on such a high, and now you got owned so quickly.
Oh man, it just went straight through the entire stage.
Dang.
Ugh.
But legit, like, there's some heroes that can, like, see their villains and where they're coming from. And I honestly like those heroes a lot because, like, they really mean it when they're not just thinking about themselves.
You're talking about heroes that are imperfect, right?
Heroes that are imperfect but have an open perspective.
Yes. Kind of like how Tony Stark has PTSD, and then Anakin Skywalker has
Exactly like that.
like a
yes.
really weird thing going on with the Force.
Tony Stark is one of those rare protagonists because he sees where you're going. He's done things that are like not heinous but villainous.
Yeah,
But he grows from those mistakes.
Well, technically, he's
And he
not the one who
tries to, like-
sold. He's not the one who sold the weapons to the terrorists. It just so happens that he made weapons and they were sold to terrorists.
Yeah, but he doesn't make any excuses for it.
No, he's like, hey, we're shutting this down. No more.
Like
Which
legit.
which is funny because beforehand, right? He
Mm-hmm.
was an absolute douchebag.
Exactly.
You
And
knew
you can
this.
still
And
make
the-
certain arguments. He still is. But he's one with like who's aware of this now.
No. You're getting ahead of me.
Sorry.
He's a douchebag.
Yes.
And he reasoned and he rationalized his douchebag behavior because he was the guy that was helping the world by making weapons and making peace with, or establishing peace across the world with his weapons. He basically took guns to a bunch. Wait, what? Did I already lose?
Yeah, you died a lot. I think you got a low score than all of them.
No, I'm on number 6.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I almost was worse than my. That second ball, the one where it just went straight through, killed me. Oh man. But yeah, no, you know how people are like, oh yeah, I'm a douchebag, but I helped the world by doing this. He essentially was that guy that was like, yeah, I'm a playboy. I use my money, in power just for self-pleasure and this and that. But it's like, oh, but I also make weapons for the military so that the people that I am being a douchebag to can be safe. But
when
only after he came back and he got kidnapped and he realized,
and got his eyes opened.
And he realized that he did not
Make the world a better place.
Not Ty.
Sorry. I keep doing that.
He realized his excuse for him being a douchebag no longer worked. He could no longer be a narcissistic prick anymore. Because he was no longer being a positive influence to make up for being a negative influence. He was just being a negative influence all over. So he sought improvement, which is something you typically don't see in a person that's narcissistic. They think that they're already perfect. But, I mean, good thing for Tony Stark, he saw improvement. And by the end of Iron Man, he was not fully redeemed. Because he still had so many of the traits that he had before. The only thing that he had going for him that kind of relinquished him was just the fact that he took it upon himself to fix a very big mistake, which is that he was living his life on this lie that he was a positive influence in the world. By the end of that movie, he made a self-fulfilling prophecy, which was that he was a positive influence in the world. He was Iron Man, and he was the guy that, was at the front lines saving people. Himself, personally, in that suit. And that's really what kind of kicked off his story arc.
Yeah. And legit, wanna know what made it even better?
What's that?
In the coming years, before that movie, and I legit mean this, before that movie or any other movie did this, he revealed his identity straight up.
Yeah.
I repeat this.
No
movie ever did that. Not one superhero movie.
At least one that took itself seriously.
At least one that took itself seriously, yes. Spider-Man? No. Batman? Get out. No. Not even Superman.
No.
Iron Man was the one person during that whole, whatever amount of years, revealed his identity to the public, knowing exactly what was going to happen to him, knowing the consequences. He did it. And legit.
Yeah, I'm Iron Man.
Legit, everyone was against, even his friends were against him saying his true identity. But he straight up
so the only friend that he had at the time that knew his identity was War Machine.
Well, not just him, Pepper as well.
Pepper knew somewhat.
I think she knew.
Pepper had a very big clue that he was Iron Man. But yeah. I mean, he purposefully hid it from everyone. He even said, keep this entire project on our local private server. Like he wanted to make sure there were no prying eyes anywhere. But
Well, I
of
know a
course,
fun fact about that scene when he reveals his identity.
Oh, what's the fun fact?
The reporter who asked him didn't even jump up and question him when, like, he said he was Iron Man. So that's basically the major confirmation that she knew all along.
Wait, What about her just being in shock that he was Iron Man?
No, she wasn't in shock. That's the thing. She wasn't in shock because she knew that he was going to say that in some way.
My right shift key is not working right.
It's like you're wiggling your pinky finger like...
listen. I'm just gonna keep doing this. See where it takes me.
But yeah, that's what I like about protagonists like that.
All right, it didn't take me. Oh, wait a minute, we're still not done.
Whoa, we're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
Don't forget about
we're
those
doing a lot of
green
stuff
portals.
right now. Oh,
Rick
yeah,
Sanchez,
we're doing
make sure
good
to remember
right
that.
now. Dude, do you see the amount of points we're getting for all this stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, we're at the alligator part. I'm at the top right now. Okay, we're going to the middle. Okay, going down the bottom. Okay, can we go back up? Let's find out. Here we go. Working our way downtown. Walking fast. I'm in the danger zone. And I'm gonna get back to the top. One way or another.
One way or another.
Ah!
That's not helping.
No, it is not. Get out of here, wizard. I don't need you right now.
I thought that was a witch.
No, it's a
Oh,
wizard.
no.
Oh. I got a D plus.
Oh well. So the thing about my characters is this that I make. I'm not
Right.
gonna reveal any of the names, but like,
That's what we were talking about.
yeah, they're like protagonists that like legit like they're not perfect, and that's the point. They don't fully like make up for their losses or their like disadvantages instantly. They learn, progress, and with each encounter they come into, they gain a new trait or act that allows them to be able to not only like encourage themselves to be a better like person or hero, but just be better in general.
Right. You know what's funny?
Hmm?
That is basically the philosophy that is the motive for the main character that I'm making in my game. Well, not the main character, but like the main character in the franchise that I'm trying to make. And you know which character that is.
I'm not gonna say it.
That is its motive. What you just explained right there. Why does it keep doing that? I did bad. This is the worst one.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's not. It's not the worst one.
Oh.
It's almost the worst one.
It's almost the worst one, yeah.
Oh man, what happened to my 15 million, man? How did I do that?
You kind of slowly start to see as progress with my characters that I make, like
Yeah.
and like my protagonists. I mean, like
Yeah.
I made a Cimmerian protagonist. Not gonna say his name or anything like that. Just talk about his attitude. Okay, so remember how we were talking about social phobia and all that?
Yeah.
Like this is like something that kind of represents me in a way, yes, but like legit, like it makes sense because, and I want to make it like semi-realistic. It's gonna be like weird, like fantasy thing, but like it's still like semi-realistic. The one thing that I know about this character that I'm making is that he doesn't like himself talk much. He can talk, but he doesn't say much because he fears like the judgment of everybody.
Whoa, what was that?
That one was a bit chaotic. That wizard is giving you such trouble.
No, I hit something. Did you see that?
What'd you hit?
The ball was on the ball was on there, right? Like on that little pin that's moving, wiggling. I hit the ball. It hit something. I don't know what. It went straight through the middle.
That's weird.
That's very weird. I don't know what I
But
hit.
anyways,
Yeah.
sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, my protagonist is just basically like he lets his actions speak for himself. Because he believes if he says anything, they're not gonna take it fully seriously. Just words that cannot be backed up.
Hmm.
And he has a certain philosophy he lives by. He doesn't seek perfection like, your thing, like you said. But he improvement. He makes mistakes. Yes. But he wants to learn from those mistakes. Whether they be in a dangerous threat or in any common, light.
Yeah.
He's not my self-insert character, but he kind of reflects my traits a bit.
Yeah. I can definitely see how one of your characters absolutely reflects the type of character you are. I got a divine out of that, but I only got 200,000. Okay, sure, I'll take it.
Sort of like spin on the whole shy thing.
Yeah. I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah. He's shy, but he's not shy enough for not to be taken advantage of. No one takes advantage of this guy because, he doesn't give him the chance.
And he lets his words just speak for him.
He lets his actions speak for him.
That's actually a really good villain.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He would be a good villain,
That is a good
but I
villain.
think he'd make an interesting protagonist.
Yes, well, the protagonist could be a villain. Oh,
Yeah, it could be a villain, it could be a hero, it could be anyone.
yeah.
I like to think of some characters, legit, this robotic shark from Banjo and Kazooie. This shark is honestly a friendly shark thing, but he's horrifying.
Nice.
But he's a seriously nice guy. You know what I
Oh.
mean?
Yeah. Ty.
Mm-hmm.
I did worse than top 10.
Oh my gosh.
Only got 700,000, 800,000, really.
Oh man, dude.
Oh, dude.
That's the worst.
That's the worst one so far.
We were gonna get to it eventually. We'll do one more game.
Okay, we'll do one
How's
more.
that?
Game. Sure, go ahead. All right, or I'll go ahead. You keep
Okay.
talking.
Anyways, what was I saying?
You were talking about how
Oh
your
yeah, the robotic
character-
shark thing from Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about when I design characters. Sometimes when I do that, I want them to be the opposite of how they look. Like something scary, but can be something nice as well. In a way, I want it to reflect what people usually try to see when they when they see someone. You're gonna get people who judge you by your appearance. But in
Right.
the end, that's not exactly who you are.
Right.
That's kind of how people also see the main character that I make. He's a guy that literally people see as, not a threat, but a guy who just who kind of looks like he hates socializing and just tries to stay away from everyone because they think he's better than anyone. But no, he's not that type of person. He's just this guy who wants to try and still be a better person than he was before. He wasn't a bad guy or anything like that. He was just a person who just wants to try and just see things from every perspective.
You know
If
what's
that's-
funny? We you and me just made a character for me that's kind of like that. It was a very good-looking individual, but then turns into a monster once you get close.
Yeah, and that's what I love about those play characters. Legit, I love doing that. I love making something scary and turning it into something that's a hidden meaning behind that. the term "don't judge a book by its cover" is really a major factor in some places that I think is not used enough or in a correct way. One of the prime examples of ones that's like,
Get
used
out of here,
correctly.
ball.
One of the prime examples that's used correctly is, funny enough, Shrek.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shrek is the main example of why you don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, because Fiona was an ogre. She wasn't a pretty princess.
Well, that and Shrek's personality.
Yeah, he was.
He comes out as this guy who's horrifying and it's like looking like a constant threat. But in the end, he's a sensible guy that just wants to have a daily life.
Yeah.
This can be used for heroes and villains.
Mhm.
Like, for example, in this anime, that got me into JoJo, Diamond is Unbreakable. There's this villain named Yoshikage Kira, who just wants to live a normal life. Looks like a regular guy, but is also a psycho murderer.
What? So
Yeah.
he can't help himself but murder?
He loves, murdering people.
Right.
Specifically women and, stealing their hands.
So he's a lot like who's that killer's name? There was a killer in real life that was exactly
Jeffrey
like that.
Dahmer? No.
No, it wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer.
He was based on that guy. I think I know what you mean. Norman Bates? No.
No. It starts with like an R or something like that. Man, I want to look this up.
I'm gonna try and
Because
find
he's
it.
referenced often too. It is a he. Killer known for kill. I don't know. Good looking.
Is it Richard Ramirez?
No. I'm trying to find. Ooh, maybe 20 famous serial killers. Ted Bundy. There you go.
Ted Bundy, yes, that was him. That's the guy that he was based off of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like those types of characters that play on the normal tropes people would normally see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we could get him off the screen now.
I mean, they can't see him. But yeah.
But yeah, Ted Bundy. He's the main inspiration for Yoshikage Kira.
Nice.
And that's what makes Kira a very unique villain. Because he doesn't seek
Right.
world domination or like that. He just wants to live a peaceful life. And he wants to keep using his habits. Which I think is honestly, he's the exact opposite of the main protagonist. Because he just wants to live his life as well. But he doesn't give into his habits as much. He just wants to live a normal life because he's a teenager. But people will always see him as a constant threat.
Mm.
And that's what I love about those types of characters. And that's the part that got me into JoJo in the first place.
Yeah,
Hardcore.
not to mention that is a real villain. that is as a genuine villain as it gets because it's based off of a real villain.
Another villain that I like to make is villains that are the fear of many people is the unknown. I want to try and make a thing that's similar to that feeling of helplessness because you don't know what you're dealing with.
So
There's a complication with that.
there's four. There's different types of fear. There's the fear of the natural, there's the fear of the unnatural, and there's the fear of the unknown. There's three different fears. I actually watched a video talking about how the Ghost Rider was all three of them at once.
And I honestly think that's the perfect description of that.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching our little ranch spiel.
Yeah, and a little bit of backstory between the both of us.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time. I'm gonna change this episode to Demon's Tilt.
Alright.
And I'm gonna make the what you call it, the little thing that we have at the end. Good commentary. There we go. I misspelled that. Mentary. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the description, we need a mic.
Annihilate. Oh,
There
okay.
we go. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll
We'll
see
see
you
y'all
all
later.
next time.
Bye-bye.
Like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And goodbye.
Goodbye.